YouTube, what's up? It's Maestro, and in today's video, I'll be showcasing my brand new Nord Stage 3. I'll be showing you pretty much the overall controls for what I've been using it for, and as well as my decision for moving from the Electro to the Stage 3, and which one I believe you should go with, and just talking about the board in general. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so as many of you know, I have been testing out quite a few boards over the last few days to weeks. I have had the Yamaha YC61, which I still love, but I'm actually unfortunately getting rid of that. I have tried the Yamaha YC73, which is also still a good board, but not really fitting my style or my needs as a musician. I recently got the Nord Electro 6D, which is an amazing instrument within itself. If you're looking for an entry-level board, it's a go-to for most people. However, I have decided to ultimately pitch in and invest in the Nord Stage 3. First off, for many may ask, why would you want to buy the Nord Stage 3 over, say, the Nord Stage 4? Well, of course, like anybody else, the answer to that is pricing. This Nord Stage 3 I got used. They are not making any more new Nord Stage 3, so everything that you get, if you get one, is going to be used. Now some companies may still have some that are new, but you're going to pay fairly well for those. But I got this Nord Stage 3 from Guitar Center. It ran me about $3,400, whereas the Nord Stage 4 Compact, which I may eventually invest in, cost about $5,000. Now that's a good $2,000 something difference, as opposed to what you get with the Nord Stage 3. Another reason is even outside of the Nord Stage 3 features versus the Nord Stage 4, to me, needs wise, the only reason I would say I would probably get the Nord Stage 4 as opposed to the Stage 3 is maybe just the extra, 1 gigabyte sample memory within a Nord Stage 4. Also with the Nord Stage 3, I get to try the song mode I've been hearing so much about, that apparently the Nord Stage 4 got rid of. So without further ado, I'm going to first talk about the many features as far as the engines that you have. You have your organ engine, you have your piano, sample and synth engine here. Towards the end, you have your effects, as well as your compression, reverb, amp simulation. And what I want to talk about outside of that, I'm sorry, I'm kind of fumbling a little bit, but what I want to talk about first is the organ. The organ is a tad bit different than that of the Electro 6D. Now, the Nord Electro 6D has what's called a dual manual organ button. So you pretty much can hit shift on the Nord Electro 6D and hit the dual manual button, and you pretty much have access to a dual manual organ. You can do the same on the Nord Stage 3, but it's a little different. So with the Stage 3, you have a panel A and panel B. So what you have to do is on panel A, include your organ, and on panel B, include your organ. And you would just press both of these at the same time so that both are playing simultaneously. And then what you want to do from there is click your split button and set your split point, so then panel A can run your lower upper manual and your panel B can run your lower manual, so you can play organ at the same time. Another cool interesting thing with the Nord Stage 3 as opposed to the Electro 6D is that with the rotary and amp simulation, all that is affected on the 6D via the amp simulation section on the Electro 6D. However, with the Nord Stage 3, you have if I move my headphones here, you have your rotary speaker setting right here within the organ section. So there's no use for the amp simulation option to the right. And the reason why I say that is because when you're using the amp simulation to the right, it kind of messes with the organ a little bit. It gives it this more almost like a high pass filter, almost with the organ. Now you can turn on the amp / EQ simulation. They share the same panel, so you can still affect the EQ without turning the amp simulation on. But the rotary speaker, everything is aligned right here with the organ section on the Stage 3, which is pretty cool. So you have your organ section, your rotary speaker, so you can affect that to your organ, piano, and synth. You have your stop mode. You have your slow and fast button for the rotary speaker simulation. You have your zones, octaves, live, and presets. Of course, your drawbars, which I love. You do not have the B3 bass mode on the Nord Stage 3. However, if that's something you still want to do, you can still kind of do that by simply turning panel A on, using the same one or two drawbars for the bass, and then just turning the bass up all the way, and you can pretty much use that the same way. You have your vibrato and chorus here. You have your percussion, and that's pretty much it for the organ section. Now, with the piano section, you have your buttons here. First top buttons, you have your soft release, string resolution, pedal noise, layer, detune, KB touch, keyboard touch, timbre. So with the timbre, it's pretty much changing the overall sound of the instrument. You also have your piano selection. So one cool thing with the Nord Stage 3 is that the piano type, you can choose, you have grand, upright, electric, clav, digital, and miscellaneous, and the button chooses which category you want to choose. So you don't no longer have to just go through one category of piano to get to the sound you want. You actually have an option where you can kind of get through your stuff faster, which is pretty cool. Another cool thing, well, let me go into your synth sections. Now, your synth section is something new to me because I have never used anything like this, so I don't have too much information on this as far as how to utilize anything and what most of these buttons do, because I have just gotten this, but I still wanted to bring a review to you guys nonetheless, to let you know that these options and features are available. Now, going into your effects are slightly a little bit different, but they still are here. You have your different effects. First, you have your wah effects, pan effects, tremolo effects on effect 1, effect 2. You have your flange, phase, chorus, and vibe effects. You have your delay effect, which is pretty cool. You can turn that in as needed. And each of these effects can also be affected to the organ, piano, synth. Again, as I mentioned before, you have your amp simulation and your EQ. One cool thing also, you have compression and you have your reverb section. Another cool thing that I want to mention going further into this review is with panel A and B, which is something that I wanted to do on electro that I couldn't, is that say if I have a grand piano on panel A and I also want to layer that with a EP, but I want the EP to have a delay or have some type of effect that I couldn't do on panel A. Well, with the Electro 6D, everything was shared, so you couldn't really necessarily say, hey, with this layer, with the piano layer, I want to have, say, a phase effect, and then with the synth layer, the sample layer, I want to also have a chorus effect. Well, they share the effects, so you really couldn't separate that. But with the Nord Stage 3, panel A, I can have the piano have a phase effect or flange effect, and then panel B with the, say if I want to add an EP or a layer, another sample layer, I can have that have a chorus effect, so I don't have to necessarily have shared effects, which is pretty cool. Another cool thing when it comes to layering, which was a very important thing for me, is that with layering, I can layer panel A, I have an organ, piano, and sample, and panel B, organ, piano, sample. So within that, I have a bigger combination of sound layering that I can incorporate into creating different patches and programs, which is pretty cool for me. Another important factor, of course, with any stage versus the electro is the mod wheel and pitch bend. This is great for me because a lot of times, especially with the YC61, I would link my strings, my pads to the mod wheel and just be able to easily bring them in as needed. And the pitch bend, which is actually pretty new to me. I've never really had a pitch bend knob that's like this. So it's pretty much of one finger and you can just go here, which is actually not bad, honestly. It beats going like this, but it's actually pretty cool. When it comes to the keybed, of course, it's the same with the Nord Electro 6D, but the keybed on Nord's compacts are amazing. Most people feel like that you can't do piano that you want, but for me, for whatever reason, I actually prefer the semi-weighted waterfall key bed. It helps me maneuver around a little bit better on the keys. Perfect for both pianos, EPs, and organs. When it comes to inputs, with the Electro 6D, you only had like 2 inputs, left, right, and headphone outputs. But with the stage, you have the headphone outputs, you have your channel 1 and channel 2. You also have channel 3 and channel 4, which are great. So that's more outputs that you have. Moving forward, you also have the sustain pedal, control pedal, and organ swell. So you can connect a expression pedal to that as well. A couple new things, like I mentioned, is song mode. So I've heard so much about that you have with the Nord Stage 3 that you don't have with the Stage 4. A couple other key points to mention: you have your dual keyboard function here with panel A. So simply clicking shift and hitting the panel B will switch on your dual keyboard function. That's pretty much it right now for today's video. I'm going to be doing more videos as time goes on, breaking down each individual section. But again, this is by far the best keyboard that I will honestly say I've had. I still love the YC61, and honestly, I would say if you're looking for a 61 key keyboard, then you definitely get that. However, what I'm planning on doing soon enough is, once I get most of this equipment out, with the Nord Stage 3, I plan on pairing this with actually getting the YC88 keyboard from Yamaha. So I'm planning on actually replacing the YC61 with the 88, so I can have an 88 key keyboard. This will be my portable 73 key keyboard, and honestly will be set regarding instruments. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, also, what I've done also, guys, is I went on ahead and taken the liberty of creating a couple sound kits or packs for you guys for the Nord Electro 6D. I have an MX88 sample pack for you guys for the Nord Electro 6D. It's also compatible with the Nord Stage 3. It's called the Electro MX 6D pack, and it includes pretty much 16 sounds that I took from my Yamaha MX88, the keyboard EP sounds, and sampled them to the best of my ability, so you guys have a higher quality samples to layer with, especially if you have the Electro 6D, or if you want to use it for the Stage 3, you can. I also put together 12 programs for Bank A, but you can link them to any bank that you want. Of the programs that I use, I took them from my 6D and pretty much redid everything into my Stage 3. So that pack is available. It's called the Stage 3 Bundle Pack. Those are also available now at itsmaestro.com. So if you're looking for new sample packs and different other packs, as well as the YC61 preset pack that I put together as well, those are all available at itsmaestro.com. I'll put links in the description for those as well. Now, as far as the description for the Stage 3, I don't have a link for it, but you still can look at places like Reverb, where you can still get a Nord Stage 3 keyboard. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get to you as soon as I can. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.